Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is Kidlit Joy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to review The Midnight Chew by Sally Morgan and Karen Blair. This is a picture book that was released in October. I was sent a review copy by Fremantle Press, the publisher, so thank you very much to them for sending me the review copy. This is a really gorgeous book for younger readers in that 3 to 6 age category. And we're going to talk about why it's perfect for that age group. The blurb on the back is fairly short. It says, when Boofa Boy Jones steals Skippy Gillespie's very big bone, a marvellous doggy race ensues. But who will win the mighty bone, and will they feast all alone? So this here is Skippy Gillespie. This is Boofa Boy Jones. And this story is very reminiscent of Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy, if you're at all familiar with that classic title. When I say it's reminiscent of that, it has that same similar rhyming storytelling style that has a very quick pace to it. So you're being propelled through the story, through the narrative storytelling style, and it's done so in that really cool rhyming text. And I think there's something lovely about it because there's a reason why Harry McClary as a classic children's text has endured time, because it is very compelling, it's very compulsively readable, and it sounds great when you read it aloud. And it's the same thing with The Midnight Chew. Sally Morgan is an incredibly accomplished author, and I also believe Karen Blair is an author as well, but has illustrated this particular title. I don't think I've read anything by Karen Blair before. I might have to see if I can find something. Together they have created this really cool atmospheric story about these two dogs. So Skippy Gillespie sneaks out one night, he's hungry, he's going in search of a bone, and he finds one. But this bone is big, and Boofa Boy Jones sees Skippy Gillespie digging up this bone and then steals it. And then they both end up in this dog chase, but they also, are interrupted by some humans, which causes them to have to, work together. And so it's this tale of these two dogs who initially are rivals working together, and then also learning how to share, which is great for this age group because you can have some really fantastic conversations about sharing. Oftentimes when we want to have conversations about particular themes, we use picture books and stories to help us explain those messages, and sometimes having them come from the perspective of loved creatures like dogs, it inserts a step in terms of relating it back to being a person. So I'm always a big advocate of kids seeing themselves on pages, but sometimes you actually need that remove in order to be able to have the conversation initially, and then you can maybe bring in another book to compare it to and go, oh, so our two dogs have the problem in this book. It's just like when these two characters, these two children in a book have the problem. Can we think about a time when that happens to us? So it's a great way to introduce the idea of sharing and working together with kids. It also has that beautiful rhyming text, which is so important for younger readers to hear text that rhymes, that has a rhythm to it, because it helps them to acquire language better, and they need to hear it read aloud. Sally Morgan also makes really great use of onomatopoeia, things like pitter patter, etc., as the characters are moving through the book to describe the sounds that we're hearing, which again enhances the reading experiences, enhances the vocabulary acquisition for kids, and just makes the story itself more interesting and engaging, because it's not just and this happened, then the characters did this. We're being propelled through the story by what the characters are doing in that moment. So it is very fast-paced. Karen Blair's illustrations are absolutely adorable. The expressions on the dogs' faces are just so cute and funny and expressive and engaging, and it just draws the readers in. There are also the use of some panels in the storytelling style as well, which means you can see multiple different things happening on the same page, instead of having to wait to turn the page to see what happens next, which again is another way of helping keep the pace of the story. Also, if you are planning on using this in childcare or in schools, there are teaching notes available on the publisher's website. They're always fantastic. I always go to teachers' notes on publishers' websites if they're available, because as much as I know books and I read them before I'm using them and I'm thinking deeply about how to use them, it's nice that someone has also gone to the effort of pulling out the themes and things like that for me, because then I can at a glance go, hey, this is how I can use this text. So always check out the teacher's notes if you are planning on using books in a school or classroom setting. I thought this was really adorable and really fun. I'm actually really excited to read this to my niece at some point, because she's getting to that age where she can actually sit and sustain listening to something for slightly longer periods of time. So thank you again to the publisher for sending me the review copy. I really loved reading this. It was a great time and I wasn't expecting it, but I'm so glad that I got a copy of it. I will leave a link to where you can find out more information about the book down below, as well as the blurb if you want to read it for yourself. Otherwise, in the comments, I would love to know, have you read this book? Have you read anything by Sally Morgan or Karen Blair before? Feel free to let me know down below. Otherwise, feel free to leave a dog paw emoji to let me know that you're here. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.